Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you are already subscribed, then you know what we're about here. If not, you're watching the Grand Oak Academy series, where I, Zatumi KO, break down how to use specific Pokemon in the VGC format and their overall viability. If that's something you're into, and you want to become a better competitive player, then consider subscribing. It's 100% free, and you can always unsub in the future if you find that this channel just isn't for you. But let's get right into our first episode of the series and cover Galarian Articuno. Right off the bat, Galarian Articuno has a pretty unique dual typing that it shares with only 6 other Pokemon. Being both Psychic and Flying gives it an immunity to ground type moves as well as a pretty solid resistance, only receiving half damage from Grass and Psychic type moves and only a fourth of the damage from Fighting type moves. However, having dual typings typically means more weaknesses, and Galarian Articuno is no exception. Its Ghost and Dark type weaknesses come from its Psychic typing, and its Electric, Ice, and Rock type weaknesses come from its Flying typing. Yikes. But what about its stats? If we take a quick glance, we notice that it's set up to be a special user, being able to blast 1 strong special attack as well as take 1 to the chest, as long as it's not a super effective attack. Its speed isn't entirely too impressive, but isn't the worst thing out there and can easily be enhanced using moves like Tailwind and Max Airstream. Now we talk about the best possible usage. For this, I broke it up into 2 viable options, first being the Rain Special Sweeper build. For this one, we give Galarian Articuno a timid nature so that way it can outspeed some of its speed ties in battle. Its only ability it gets is Competitive, which raises its special attack by 2 stages when an opponent lowers any of Galarian Articuno's stats. Note that I said opponent, which means Competitive does not activate if an allied Pokemon tries to lower Galarian Articuno's stats, a very important factor to keep in mind. Now, as far as the item held, I was conflicted in choosing which to give it, either Choice Specs or Life Orb. From first glance, Choice Specs seems like the solid choice with the 50% boost in special attack, however that effect is negated while Dynamaxed, whereas Life Orb is not, and even though you only get 30% boost in power at the cost of 10% health, you still get to use that while in Dynamaxed form, which means you get a boost of Dynamax strength as well as Life Orb, and only the cost of 10% of your pre-Dynamax form's health, so only 5% health while Dynamaxed. So with that reasoning, I've decided to go with Life Orb. The moveset for this build relies heavily on a partner with either Drizzle or Rain Dance. Hurricane, originally only having 70% accuracy, gets 100% accuracy in Rain, which means that a whopping 110 base power is going to hit most of the time, if not always, in Rain. That along with Life Orb and Stab, same type attack bonus boost, Hurricane becomes a threat with it being not a very effective for only 3 types, Electric, Rock, and Steel. Next move I'd put would be its signature move, Freezing Glare. Being a Psychic type move, it gets a stab boost and also has a unique effect that has a 10% chance of freezing the opponent and possibly shifting the entire tide of the game, clearly being a homage to the Ice type Cantonian Articuno. Next move is Shadow Ball to at least deal with its Ghost type Nemesaries, however it's still not very effective towards Dark types. And lastly, Ancient Power to deal with any Ice types. It also has a great secondary effect that may raise all of your Galarian Articuno stats. Talk about sweet. Now as for the EV spread, I'd recommend giving the full 252 EVs to both special attack and speed, because this build's entire purpose is to be a special sweeper, as well as giving the remaining 4 EVs to defense, just cause you never know when you might actually come in handy. Next up, we got the Max Speed Sweep build. The ability, nature, and item is pretty much the same as the previous build, however the strategy is a little different and hence requires a different move pool. It's meant to be partnered up with a Pokemon that can use Follow Me, Rage Power, or any other move that keeps all focus on that Pokemon. The first move of this build is Tailwind. While a support Pokemon is directing all attacks towards itself, Galarian Articuno sets up a nice Tailwind to double its team speed for the next 4 turns. After getting off that Tailwind, Galarian Articuno is significantly faster than most opponents and can take full advantage of a Dynamax Sweep the following turn. The other 3 moves are Freezing Glare for a stab boost, Shadow Ball to take care of any ghost type Pokemon, and Ancient Power to take care of any ice type Pokemon. However, if the opponent has a Pokemon with a possible rock, electric, or dark typing or move, and you no longer have your support Pokemon, then Galarian Articuno can be a sitting target. So I'd recommend a tanked support ally Pokemon for this build, but more on that later. The EV spread is the exact same as before, maximizing the special sweeping abilities. Let's talk about teammates. For the Rain Special Sweeper build, I recommend using either Politoed or Pelipper, both having Drizzle as an ability which activates Rain upon entering the battle. They also have some useful moves such as Pelipper's U-turn and Tailwind. Teammates for the second build, the Max Speed build, I recommend using either Clefairy or a female Indeedee. Indeedee is a tanker and has Follow Me as well as Helping Hand, which is pretty useful. Clefairy also has Follow Me and a unique ability called Friend Guard that reduces the damage ally Pokemon receive in double or triple battles by 25%. Also, equipping Eviolite raises Clefairy's defense and special defense by 50%. Now for some counters that Galarian Articuno doesn't do so well against: Tyranitar and Bisharp. Both are immune to Freezing Glare and resist Hurricane. Tyranitar's Sandstream ability raises its own special defense as well as lowers Hurricane's accuracy even more. And Bisharp's Sucker Punch threatens Galarian Articuno with a potential one-hit KO. That's why having those teammates as well as other Pokemon on the back end are important to consider when team building around Galarian Articuno. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found this useful. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by Dynamaxing that like button, and also let me know in the comments below what you thought of these 2 builds for Galarian Articuno. I'm planning on covering the other 2 Galarian birds, but only if you all find this information useful. So don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the other 2. Till next time, happy battling!